Alright, it's back day, and we're going to start off with the most fundamental move for back, and that's deadlifts. This move is going to put the most muscle and stimulate the most muscle in your back by second to none. It uses all your back muscles, whether it's your lats, your spinal erectors, your rhomboids, your teres major, traps. They all come into play with a good deadlift. Got to be careful with your form when it comes to deadlift. We'll take particular note of the fact that Kurt's wearing a weight belt today, just to give his lower back a little bit of support. So it's really important that you practice and use good form on this exercise. You can injure yourself with proper form as you can on any exercise. Now Kurt's going to demonstrate. Now take no-nos, keeping the barbell quite close to his body and his legs throughout the whole movement. Controlling the weight on the way down, and then his back never arches. He keeps his back straight, and he actually arches his back at the end of the movement to try and contract those back muscles at the top of the movement. So he's actually trying to put some stress on his back at the top of the movement. As he's lowering it, he's keeping his core and his back tense, so they're doing the work on the way down. So the stress on his back throughout the whole movement. Alright, just to give you another idea of how to do the deadlift, I'm going to give you a side-on angle, just so Kurt can properly demonstrate the form. Again, we'll take note that his back never arches. Really important that it never hunches or arches over. Back stays up throughout the whole movement, and actually it arches back at the top of the movement. So he's not putting so much stress on joints or his spine or anything. He's really twisting his back and making his back do the work through the movement. While keeping his back straight, making sure his back's doing the work when he's lowering the weight also. And that's how it's done.
Alright, so next up we're going to do bend over rows. So once again, it's important, very important to keep your back straight. Matt's going to demonstrate for us exactly how to do this. You'll notice there'll be a slight bend in his knees. That'll just help you bend over more. It'll be ideal to get as flat as possible without bending your back. You can see Matt's wearing the belt again just to support his lower back and really make sure that the back's not bending. And you'll see his shoulders coming forward on the bottom of the movement, and it's sort of ideal to first put your shoulder blades back and then just get a better range of motion into the middle of the back, and you'll really feel the squeeze down the middle of the back.
Alright, the next movement we're going to do is the seated row. It's another fantastic exercise to really build back thickness, all through your mid-back in particular. Kurt's going to demonstrate how to do this exercise. Things to take note of when you're doing this exercise is to make sure you use a full range of motion. So often we'll see people at the gym use a really short range of motion. If you use shows, Kurt, perhaps typical form shown in the gym, really short range of motion. Yeah, and you really, when you're doing something like that, in all honesty, you just really give yourself a decent arm workout. But what Kurt's going to show us is a full range of motion, where he's really stretching his lats out right from the start of the movement. So he's engaging his lats, popping those lats out at the start, and then squeezing all the way to his torso and contracting those back muscles. Another thing to look out for and to not do is to really lean really far back at the end of your movement like that. That's a no-no as well. By doing that again, we're not stressing or targeting the areas that we want to. We want our back just to end up quite straight, and we're pulling it into our torso and pinching our shoulders at the end of the movement. That's how it's done. Okay, now we're going to move on to the hammer strength lat pull down machine. This is a really good variation of your standard straight bar or cambered bar lat pull down. It's a really good machine. It's really direct at working your lats as well as your mid back and your other back muscles. when we're working out lats, we're thinking width exercises, and this is really good for you, just generally your back width. So it's also good for have a look at your back from behind, but also getting those lats to pop out from the front as well. So Kurt's going to demonstrate for us now on how to do this move. Now, key things to look for is you see he goes all the way at the top. He even stretches his lats out a little bit extra at the top. That way he's engaging his lats straight from the get-go. He's making sure he's pulling the bar down with his lats. That's the first thing in his mind. And we can see all the muscles it's working. It's working the width of his lats. It's working his mid-back, whether it's his spinal erectors, it's his rhomboids, it's his lower and middle traps, as well as his teres major, for example. So it's working that whole back right there. Other things to look out for when doing this exercise is to keep your back quite straight through the movement. You really don't want to be swaying forward and back through the movement, and you don't want to be bringing it too far down. You really want to keep the stress on the back. By pulling it too far down, again, you're just using your arms. So he's bringing it down to the bottom point where he's just squeezing his back, and not too far. And that's the way the cookie crumbles. Alright, now we're going to move on to some pull-ups. Key things to look out for when you're doing your pull-ups is full range of motion. You've really got to make sure you come all the way down. Just make sure you engage your lats when you start the movement, and make sure you get all the way to the top and really squeeze that back to the top. It's really important that you don't throw your knees up in the air, or you try to leave momentum to swing yourself up. Rather than do that, it's better to get a training partner to either grab you just your lats or your hips, and just keep moving and assist up, and that way you can keep that constant tension on your back. We're going to get Kurt to demonstrate for us now how it's done. It is a very taxing exercise, so you might need a training partner just to give you a little bit of assist. You see the full range of movements is used there. Make sure it comes all the way down. You're getting fantastic squeeze at the top. Really important that you start with width exercises. This is primarily a lat movement. Really important you start with pull-ups, because this is a very hard exercise to do. There it is.